Hello and good day, Welcome to the Super Good Camping Podcast. My name is Pamela.
I'm Tim.
And we are from supergoodcamping.com. We're here because we're on a mission to inspire other people to get outside and enjoy camping adventures, such as we have as a family. Today's guest is big into bushcraft, backcountry canoeing, hiking, and camping, and he also loves being a dad and a husband. He creates fantastic, realistic content on YouTube and Instagram. He's been a contestant on the History Channel's TV show Alone. He has recently recovered from an absolutely horrific accident. Please welcome YouTuber Joe Robinet. Hey, welcome.
Hey, folks. How are you?
Great. Thanks for coming out.
We're good. For those at home, we're recording this on Easter Sunday, so hopefully if you hear background noise, it's just Joe's kids running around jacked up on chocolate.
Yeah, he told us beforehand that they're full of chocolate already.
Yep. You know what? Let's do this chronologically. How did you become a bushcrafter? Like, how did you get into doing this? I know that's not a short answer because it couldn't be for where you're at now compared to, were you an outdoor kid? Were you 12 years old and hiking into the backwoods on your own sort of deal? How did that play out?
Man, the farthest thing from that, right? I was a city boy down in Windsor, raised, born and bred, and zero connection with the outdoors. I shouldn't say that. My mom did take me car camping a few times. It was just me and my mom growing up for a big part of it. And she did. And took me car camping. I remember really loving it. I have pictures of that. It brings back memories. But I really remember watching like Little House on the Prairie and Grizzly Adams and what have you. And I'm a firm believer that, like, you always want what you don't have. So it's like in Windsor, we had factories. We had cement. We didn't have nature. And I saw that all on those TV shows, and my mom bringing me camping a little bit and here and there. And it was something that resonated with me like crazy. And I remember Survivor Man coming out, Les Stroud. And that was a really, really, really big stepping stone for me, a big block. And I just fell in love with it. I bought his movie Snowshoes in Solitude, the VHS of it, which is like super old. And I joined a forum online, a Bushcraft USA, and it was just a bunch of dudes, women too, everybody loving the outdoors and being part of it. And that was really that was early on in the internet, and that was the first like experience I had with like-minded people, the first experience I had with a forum, and I fell in love, and I became like one of the big contributors to that forum, and so. Yeah, I just took off from there. I taught myself how to do the bow drill from Morris Kahansi's book, Bushcraft book, and like that was before you could go online and see 4,500 people doing the bow drill. And it was a long time in the making, and I didn't really have any passions my whole life until this.
That's awesome, and I think that following your passions are what makes people happy.
Definitely.
Yeah, I'm picturing. I do. My picture of Windsor is, car plants and like you said, concrete and stuff. And it must have been tough to find that nature.
Yeah, we had a spot. Me and my friend had a spot that was about the size of a football field big. And that was on Walker Road, a very busy road in between Glidden Paints and Ground Effects Car Factory. Okay, literally, it's sandwiched in between the two. Transports buzzing by. We built a log cabin in that thing. Like, we didn't know what we were doing. This is where I cut my teeth. I learned how to use an axe in there, did a bunch of stuff. My old dog Scout, my first dog Scout, used to come there all the time with me. And to be honest with you, our log cabin got took over by a homeless person, and it was a war for a little while as well. The joys of Windsor. But that's where I cut my teeth, and that's where home was. And I learned a lot of stuff there. And knew that I needed to get out of there in order to really test myself and really experience wilderness.
So from Windsor, where was your next? You moved just straight north from there?
Yeah. So my wife and I, in 2007, we were just dating, and we moved up to Sault Ste. Marie, and we lived there in the city proper and went to college. And then we ended up moving back down to Huntsville, back down to Windsor for a while. And then when YouTube took off for me, and I was starting to actually make money, and we were looking for a place. This was right before COVID hit. I owned the house that my grandmother bought brand new in the 40s. It had been passed down. I bought it off my uncle, and we were raising a family there. And we started looking, and someplace up here where we live now, we have this is crazy. The neighbors that we had in Sault Ste. Marie in a hotel, or sorry, in an apartment in 2007, we stayed friends with those people. And we moved here 2019-ish. And so from 2007 to 2019, we kind of kept a little bit of communication with them. And where we are now, their neighbors, which is this house exactly, were American, and they were selling this house. They were only in here. This is their cottage home. And they were selling it, and we got word from them. So we came up and visited our old neighbors in that house next door. We visited this house, and it all kind of fell into play. It seemed like it was supposed to happen. And thank God we did this before COVID, because the price that it was half the price. You know what I mean? And we lucked out, and we love it here. And it's a way better place to raise the children. I could walk out my door and go camping. It took a lot of getting used to, when we could walk to 3 different corner stores in a matter of 5 minutes. And now it's a good drive. You know what I mean? And, but it's worth it.
Yeah. It's great for the kids too. They can be free range kids.
Yes. Free range kids is right. Exactly.
Good term.
Yeah.
Good term. I like that. You mentioned YouTube taking off for you. How did you get into YouTube in the first place? Like, what were you doing?
Yeah. So that forum, you guys, that forum was a big stepping stone for me. I was a skinny young Canadian on a military American-owned bushcraft site. Okay, there was Canadians all over it, but it was hardcore military American style, and I felt like I needed to prove myself. Right, so there was competitions and challenges and things like that people could send in pictures to compete in, and I always thought, you can cheat. Pictures can be cheated. And there's no real reason to do that, but I just feel like I wanted everyone to understand that I was legit and that I was really trying, and that I was a force. And I started taking video, because you couldn't cheat video. I thought. I didn't know how to edit, so it's not even like I could take clips and like, it was all, when I started, it was a little flip camera about the size of a phone that was cheap, and I would sit it on a stick and do a whole spiel, 5 minutes. And if I had messed up anywhere in that, I would just start over
again.
The whole project to start again, because I could not edit. And I remember I was using like Windows Movie Maker at the beginning, because it was like the free thing, and it would always crash and all this nonsense. But yeah, so I would use video, because I thought that I could not be taken lightly that way. I couldn't be faking things. And the catalyst to put videos from my camera onto this forum was YouTube. That was the way. You could not upload videos to the forum. You had to upload to YouTube, then post the link to the forum. That was the be-all, end-all, only reason I ever started YouTube. And after a little while, I got excited about getting attaboys and congratulations and you did a good job and blah, 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 all this stuff. Not just on the forum, but on YouTube through YouTube comments, because that was there, obviously. And I liked it. It felt good. And that was way before you could monetize anything. You could not monetize YouTube at all. No one could. It was not a thing back then. This is 15 plus years. And one day, and this went on for a long time, probably a year or two before this happened. One day I saw this little thing button. It was like monetize video on YouTube. This is a new thing. I was like, oh, I'll try. And I monetized one video, and I think I made $50 that month. And I was like, oh, snap, $50? Like, all I was doing was putting money in for years. You know what I mean? Like, now I'm getting $50 back. I'm like, oh, sweet, I can, like, pay gas to go somewhere or whatever. And there was another button that said hit monetize all videos. So I was like, why not? And I hit it, and the next month I made $200. And I really, the wheels started to turn, right? And for the longest time, I just did instructional type stuff, little challenge type stuff or whatever, blah, blah, blah. My first video that ever did anything for me view-wise was me showing the experience of camping overnight with my dog. And that was the first time I ever did that. That was the first, like, oh, here's just what I'm doing. Not like, oh, you need to sharpen your knives and whatever. You know what I'm saying? And that really, again, got the wheels going. So I think it took, I know when I went on Alone, when I went on the TV show Alone, I had 30,000 subscribers. I know this. And there's a big misconception that Alone was where I got my start. That I was, that couldn't be farther from the truth. Alone hurt me big time. I got reamed out. It was like I walked up to people and slapped their babies. That's how upset they were with me for losing my fire steel. It's crazy. And it was the first time I really, really, really experienced trolling. Like I had experienced it a bit before, but this was extreme. And that took its toll on me. And while signing the contract to go on Alone, I had to agree to not put out YouTube videos at all, because no one could know I'm still around. Nobody could know when I'm back. It would ruin the whole thing for Alone, right? So in that time, I think I didn't put out videos for like 6 months or whatever. And yeah, and in that time, people who were beneath me in subscribers had far surpassed me. Black Owl Bushcraft, you know what I mean? Like TA Outdoors, all these people who've been around now that were way, way, way younger than me as far as a YouTube channel. And so I saw that, and I did not like that at all. And I got a fire lit under my ass, and I went hard for a long time. So from Alone, I can't remember how long it took me, but I only had 30,000 subscribers on Alone, and that took me years to get. And then from then, I went to 100,000. It took me total 7 years to get 100,000 subscribers, okay? Not after Alone, but total from the beginning. And 1 year after 100,000, I was at 500,000. So there was this crazy snowball effect. And yeah, I don't know. It was from there. It just kept going for a long time, for a very, very long time.
No, people are really into what you do, obviously, and wanting to learn more from you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've heard about the snowball effect.
We haven't experienced
we
it.
have not. We're at like 200 subscribers. So
yeah, it's harder these days, you guys. It's saturated, right? You got to remember, when I'm talking, this is 10, 15 years ago, and it's like I can name you off the top of my head the top 5 outdoor bushcraft channels then. Now, there's too many to name, and I don't know them.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, I think we all, social media wise, like across the board, not just YouTube, but I think we all have our favorite people that we like to follow. If it wasn't for the algorithm, I probably wouldn't see any other ones. Like I don't go looking for them, because I'm getting my fix from the people that I already watch. So
yeah, and I'm actually struggling right now to get views. You know what I mean? Things changed a lot after my accident and stuff, and I took some time off, and things have changed quite a bit. I have to switch things up if I want to keep this up. You know what I mean? I know that, but it's like a struggle, because you have to bring the people in order for them to watch the video. So that lends itself to titles and thumbnails, right? And if you don't get the titles and thumbnails spot on, nobody's even coming to check the video, no matter how quality the video is. So there's a big learning curve, even for me now, after doing it for so long. It's all different with AI and everything. Everything's changing all the time.
Yeah, I know. Perfect segue. Your accident. That was a brutal thing to watch. Just that the video you put out after you were out of the hospital, that was painful, man. Like, there was a couple of times I wanted to cry. Tell us what the hell happened.
I wish I could remember it all. I can tell you what I know. So we were here. It was springtime. I was looking forward to starting canoe trip, and I had already gone on a couple trips. I was feeling really good. We had some friends over. I was barbecuing, had a couple beers, and stupidly looked over, saw my dirt bike, which is pretty new to me at the time. Just got the hang of it. And I was just going to rip down to the end of the street and come back. And I did not wear a helmet like an idiot, which I highly, highly, highly want to tell people. You have to wear a helmet, period. Things can change in the blink of an eye, and I'm proof of that. But I wasn't thinking. And I had rid it all over the place that day with a helmet. I was just going down the street and back. I just felt good. I felt good. And I never came back. And it had been about 20 minutes or whatever. My buddy, who was at our house barbecuing with me, went inside, and he's like, let me just tell him my wife, let me just hop on the 4-wheeler, go look for Joe. I can't hear him. I'm like, whatever, it's Joe. He's doing his Joe things, whatever. But yeah, he had the intuition. He came, I was out just out, and he saw me like flat out on the ground. The bike had stopped running. The bike was mangled. It had ass over tea kettled. And I guess what had happened was it was nighttime and it was getting dark. There was dew all over the ground. And when you're on a snow machine, sometimes you go into a little bit of a ditch and you pop back out just for fun. And I think that's what I was doing with the dirt bike. No snow, but dewy, wet, long grass with I know the exact spot where it was. I went back and checked it out a bunch of times. Big boulders, not rocks, boulders underneath this wet grass. And I think I just hit it too hard. And I thought I was going to pop down, come back out, having fun. And I hit it too hard and I went over the handlebars like Superman. Mm-hmm. And I cracked my dome on another rock. And I got split way up. I'm surprised I still have my eye. I got split way up, stitches all up into my head, everything. I had a traumatic brain injury. And I was unconscious for 3 weeks. So they took the ambulance 40 minutes to get to me. And I guess I was combative before that. I was kind of not awake, but enough to try to get up. And they were holding me down. And I'm screaming at them, I have to pee, let me up. But I guess that's what I was doing. And Will, my wife, was laying there holding my body so I wasn't cold until they got there. And they air rushed me to Sudbury. They were giving me fentanyl, all sorts of crazy stuff. Induced my coma even more. And I guess I had some crazy things happen in a coma. I can't really explain it all because it's crazy. I don't even know how to explain it, but I lived a whole other life. And they thought I was, they were, the doctor was telling Will, my wife, getting her ready, like that I was going to die. They go home and get your shit in order and take care of your kids. There's no point in even being here type of thing, which is crazy for a doctor to say. But my mom is super religious, born again Christian, and did not hear any of that. You know what I mean? Was just like praying the whole time. And I really appreciate that. And whatever your beliefs are, whatever my beliefs are, you know what I mean? That can't be bad for you. So anyways, I got out of it. In 3 weeks when they expected me to be in it for months. They said I was going to be a vegetable. They said I was going to be very, very combative, like disruptive when I got up, like not even really know who my family was or anything like that. And I guess they were scaring everybody. And I got up and I was pretty okay right away. Like I do have memory loss, and I did think this was one thing that happened about the anniversary of my 1 year anniversary of my little brother's death, and that really screwed me up big time. And I think that's part of the reason I was drinking so much and stuff. And my brain, when I woke up, didn't let me remember that my brother had passed. I was angry at people, my wife, my mom, everybody, for not letting me call my brother. All I had in my head was, I need to warn this guy because I know how he is, and he's just like me, and he's even worse than I am. And everybody needs to be told right now. This is all in my head. Everybody I know needs to be told, be careful with what you're doing. Everything can be changed in an instant. And he was the most important person that I needed to tell that because he was the most at risk. And I knew that. And I was upset with my mom and screaming at my wife and like, let me call him. Why won't you let me call him? Blah, blah, blah. I thought I heard him in the hallway anyways, they had to come in and tell me. And it was like reliving the whole damn thing again. It was so bad. But your brain, you know what I mean? Your brain is, it keeps you from shit you can't handle, I guess. Like, I needed to not handle that in the hospital. I needed some time to come out of it before. And I had a few days before they told me, and it was horrible, but it would have been worse before, you know? So I don't know. Anyways, I had bad nerve damage in my hand. I could not use my hand for a long time. I thought my life was over. I thought I couldn't protect my family. I couldn't provide for them. I couldn't play with my kids anymore. I thought it was over. I'm very self-sufficient. That's how I make my money. You know what I mean? I go into the wilderness for however long by myself, and I thrive. I've walked away from shit all the time. I thought bigger than this, laughing. And this really put me in my place, right? So I lost use of my hand. It was extreme pain forever. And my fingers were erect like this. I've lost mass in my hand like crazy. But with Carrie Physio from Toronto reached out to me. This physiotherapist reached out because I was going to physio and they were not giving me any homework to do. It was like they wanted money and they wanted me to come to them. It was once a week, twice a week type thing. It's like, I'm at home living in wallowing my own misery. At least I can do some exercises. You know what I mean? Yep. So this Carrie Physio guy, I cannot thank him enough, reached out to me, and we would just do online things for free. He never asked for a penny, and gave me all this stuff to do at home, and it helped quite a bit. And just started using it more and more and more. I stopped taking the pain pills because those are no good for you, and I can move my hand. I have complete dexterity of my hand. I probably have about 75% of the strength. I can canoe. I can pump a shotgun. I can tie my shoes. I can play with my kids. You know what I mean? There's nothing I can't do. There was a point where I could not peel an effing banana. I couldn't peel a banana. You know how disturbing that was to me? I broke down. I'm a 40-year-old man, very, 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 very self-sustained. I can't peel a banana. Changed my life, but it gave me a whole other outlook too, and I'm back. You know what I mean? And I'm never gonna take shit for granted ever again in my life. I never thought about how awesome it is that you can use your hands. We have, you know what I mean? This is what separates us from the animals, folks. And I lost that. It took away from me and my passion, canoeing and stuff. But it's all back, and I'm gonna go hard this year. And I'm never, ever, ever going to make an excuse again about this for any reason. It's not going to hold me back ever again. In the mornings, it's freezing cold, and it is the worst pain in the world. But I know that all I have to do is just warm it up, and it goes away. And I'm okay with that. I would have taken less. I would have taken 50%, and I got about 75.
And you're alive.
Oh, I'm alive. I'm raring to go too. Like, imagine that. Like, I would have deserved to burn in hell if I left my family without a father and a husband. You know what I mean? That is the worst, most selfish damn thing I could have ever done in my life. And I hate the fact that it happened. And every time I walk past that spot that it happened, I cringe. Every time I go in my garage to get something, I see that dirt bike, I want to smash it with a freaking sledgehammer. You know what I mean? It's my fault. It's not the dirt bike's fault. It's completely my fault. And every now and then I get flashbacks of my coma too. And that's a wild thing. Like, and it keeps me grounded. It keeps me like, oh yeah, smarten the F up, bud, you know?
Yeah, it'll certainly give you pause for thought. I don't, I literally got nothing to say. Like that's such a wild.
It was bad.
I'm glad you're back from it, man.
Thank you, sir. Yeah. The picture speaks, you know, the picture was bad. My kids seen it and it's bad. But I'm hoping that this was a lesson to them through me, you know what I'm saying? For a couple of different things. I always wanted to be a motorcycle rider, you know what I mean? And I could have done it responsibly, and I didn't. And I paid the price. Everything happens for a reason. And I am so very, yeah, exactly. It's kind of hard to see it sometimes, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But I do believe that. Even losing my brother, as hard as that is, you know what I mean? Like there's reasons behind things and stuff like that. And it takes a while to understand it sometimes, and maybe you never will, but I do believe that. And I'm a better person for it. It's I have to be responsible for my family. Like I grew up without a dad, and if I would have left my girls without a dad, like I never even want to think about that.
Yep, I hear you there.
So do your girls go with you? Do they go camping with you?
Yeah, me and Emmy just got back from a winter camp up here in the bush. The snow is still up to my crotch when I post hole through. And she was a G. We snowshoed in with backpacks for about 2 hours. We lost the snowshoes halfway because we were staying on top and the snow was so firm. But it started to warm up as we were hiking still. So we started post-holing like crazy, and she kept up. Granted, her legs are as long as mine now, okay? She's 13 years old. Crazy. But yeah, I've told them this year, this is a new tradition that we're going to do. They have come camping with me in the past, for sure. My whole family has many times. But this is the new tradition. 1 week for the year, one week a year, from now on until I can't do it physically anymore, we are going camping together, one of them at a time. One for Emerald and me, one for Autumn and me. to teach them self-reliance, to teach them confidence, to teach them that just because a boy comes along one day, you don't have to follow him. You know what I mean? Like, just if you can camp out in the middle of the wilderness for a week with bears and catching your own food and fish and stuff, like, you're going to have a little bit more confidence in your own day-to-day life. I know this. And I want to create memories. That's the most important thing to me now, is creating memories for them and for me. And that is worth more than any money ever.
I think that's excellent. And I think you're bang on with that. Self-sufficiency will give them so much more confidence in their own abilities. Oh, sorry, just stepped on my dog.
Yeah, I really wish that I had somebody to take me camping growing up and stuff. And like, but that said, everything does happen for a reason. Maybe I would have lost interest in it if I would have been inundated with it when I was a kid. You know what I mean? It was all brand new to me when I started. So that's why. And people pick up on the joy that I have when I'm out there and stuff. It's genuine. You know what I mean? It's not a farce, because it's like a lot of the stuff is new to me or was new to me. And I still have a big enjoyment for it. And that's part of the reason that I never really forced my kids before to do the camping thing. It was always whenever it's cool with you guys, we'll do it or whatever. But now it's like, I do also see the other side in it. It's like, even if they don't do it later on in life, I want to instill these things with them right now.
Obviously, camping with your family is something you totally enjoy. What style do you prefer to do? Solo camping, or when you do stuff like you go with Tosh or whatever? Like, is that what do you?
Yeah,
I'm sure you like it all, or else you wouldn't do it. What do you prefer, to be on your own, or do you like hanging out with the guys? Whatever.
It's always trip dependent. It's also always situational dependent. So if I go into it feeling and thinking like I need to make a really good video, I want to put a lot of time and effort into making a video, I'm going solo, period. I'm going with the dog. Wolfie's amazing. Wolfie's a great canoe buddy. But that, don't get me wrong, I love hanging with friends. I love hanging with buddies. I love going camping with friends and stuff. Tosh and I had a falling out. We don't camp together anymore, which sucks. I do have some people. Me and Doug are still really good buddies. We will go camping again together. Doug's been walking around on a broken foot for 6 months, not knowing it. So he's a bit of a hard head, that guy. But well, he'll get better. We'll go back out together. And Joel Tremblay, I camped with him last year. We're going to be going out together. And this year, actually, I'll be going out with somebody I haven't made a video with yet. There's a dude, Evan Lefebvre, and we're going to do some whitewater on the Spanish. So I'm super excited about that. He's an awesome whitewater guy, and I'll pick up a lot of stuff from him. But
and he's just a super guy. Like he's just an absolute treat.
Salt of the earth. Great dude. Yeah. So his dad's coming, the whole 9 yards. It'll be a lot of fun. But yeah, no, I really do enjoy camping with people. But my best trips are always with me and the dog.
So what do you have planned besides Evan LaFive this year? What else do you have planned?
Oh man. So I'm going to be doing
this long.
Yeah, exactly. There's a bunch of things that I'm not 100% on. I'm about 99% on, but we're gonna do a documentary. So about me, about my accident, about me kind of just dropping off the face of the earth and then trying to come back, my comeback. And that is going to be up north. I can't give away the exact place, but very far up north. And we're going to canoe in. We're going to fly in, canoe, build a shelter, live out there for like a week-ish. And right from there, I'm driving to Thunder Bay to pick up buddy Kyle, my American friend who is from Ohio, lives in California now. We haven't seen each other in 2 years because of my accident. Last year, we had a Wabakimi trip planned, and I never even was able to call him to tell him I was out. My wife had to call him and tell him. And so we're going to do that trip. I'm going to not come home after the documentary. I'm going to go pick him up in Thunder Bay from the airport, drive right to Bruce's in Wabakimi. We're going to do another week, fly in there. Cannot wait. Love Kyle. We're really good buddies. Complete opposites. But that seems to be how it is. Me and Doug are complete opposites too. But that, and then there's this section of the Trans-Canada Trail called the Path of the Paddle. And the Trans-Canada Trail it's a hiking, it's a paddling, it's a biking trail. This section of the trail is paddling, and it's called the Path of the Paddle, and it goes from Thunder Bay over to Manitoba or vice versa. And I am 99% sure I'm going to do that. I already have everything worked out. The film crew that are going to come up and film the documentary are going to come up and be my support team, so I don't have to carry 50 days of food with me. You know what I mean? So they'll meet up with me at roads, film a little bit, come with me for a couple days here and there, have my supply of food, have Wolfie's supply of food. They're my rescue team if I need them. In reach, and yeah, that'll be epic. That will be epic. So that'll be all of July. If I do that, that'll be about 50 days solo. That will be by far the biggest undertaking I have ever done. And these aren't well-established routes. You know what I'm saying? Like, some of it's in the middle of nowhere. So that will be very, very cool. A big bonding experience for Wolfie and I as well. And then after that, it's family stuff. It's got to be all family stuff because I've been gone for spring all through summer at that point. And but last year I did not do anything. You know what I mean? I've been home more than I have ever been home since my kids have been alive for this stint. We went to Florida, Disney, we went to North Carolina, tons and tons of family time. So I don't feel overly bad about being gone for so long. We were all used to it. This was normal for us for as long as anybody could remember. And this past year, 2 years has been completely abnormal.
Yeah, I can see I could see our kids if roles were reversed here, our kids would be like, "Love you, Dad, but get out."
It's exactly right.
Exactly. You need to go.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah. For everybody's well-being.
Exactly. What style of camping do you like to do most? Like build a shelter, do a tarp, take a tent,
hammock.
Yeah.
By far, my favorite type of camping is canoe tripping. Period. Bar none. There's nothing that comes close. I love the fact, and there's multiple types of canoe tripping that I like too. Like there's so many different variations of it that I have done and that I enjoy. For example, in the spring, I like I like to get out and go focus on catching trout. So whatever that means, if that's a big trip in Algonquin where I'm crossing the whole park through the Petawawa River and catching trout on the way, you know what I'm saying? Big logistic thing, cool, whatever. Or I'll go in somewhere around my house here where I know it's like, I can get in within like half a day to a spot where I can base camp, leave all my stuff there, and then just take my canoe to lakes from there. That takes only maybe an hour, whatever the case may be, and fish all day. Have a shore lunch over there, bring the fish back if I want, whatever the case may be. That is my favorite type of spring trout fishing. That's what I love to do in the spring. Then summer comes and I really like to put it more towards tripping, where the focus is moving and seeing more land, more water, more landmarks, pictographs, what have you. Burn into not burn. If you go up far enough north, it's been all burned. And then sometimes you paddle out of that into the old growth, and it's like, oh, you know what I mean, like Jurassic Park type stuff. Or there's other trips where sometimes I wait till the fall where I have my canoe legs under me, and I'll do this hardcore long distance, like minimal gear, quick trip just for like an endurance thing, right? So I remember, was it 2 springs ago, I did Kevin Callan's Northwest Loop in Killarney, and he says it takes 6 days. I did it in one night, and that was not an enjoyable trip where you're like taking in the experience and stuff. That was head down, bust your ass, go, single carry everything, like 14 pounds on my back, including food type thing. Now, in that case, I liken that to backpacking. I take the same mentality for ultralight backpacking to canoe tripping, because not only do I have that weight on my back, I have a canoe on my head, right? So you really have to take that into consideration. But all those things, and then there's even just taking my kid into a certain spot that's one portage that I know is our favorite lake. There's bass to catch. It's crystal clear water to swim in. Summertime, living's easy type stuff. So yeah, canoe tripping by far.
Yeah, I'm totally with you there. I mean, I like doing front country. Our youngest and Pamela are fans of doing front country just compared to doing backcountry, although Pamela does do some backcountry with me. But yeah, anytime anybody asks me, what are you doing this summer? I'm getting in a canoe and going away from people.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, I like front country as well. Like, there's nothing nicer than pulling up to a really nice site, just setting your tent up. You know what I mean? It's luxury. It's I like that. Cook a steak on the grill that they provide. It's all good. Yeah. But for me personally, it's backcountry canoe tripping, period.
Yeah. No, I'm with you, man. Camping with your dog.
Yeah.
So what's the appeal specifically to bringing a dog along?
It might be different for certain people, but for me, growing up, Old Yeller, Rin Tin Tin, Littlest Hobo, right? Just like Grizzly Adams, Little House on the Prairie. It was just something in my head. It was romantic. It was a romanticized thing. It's like a male boy and his dog, you know, and anybody and their dog. But growing up, it was always a boy and their dog, Lassie, all that stuff. And dogs don't complain. I can go, and here's the thing too. When I'm camping with another person, there's only a certain amount of tent spots and stuff like that, and I pride myself in being a person who thinks a lot about that type of stuff. So I'm not going to just go and drop my gear and set up a tent my tent in the best spot, period. I'm going to stop. I'm going to say, hey, buddy, try to find a spot. Let's see what we can do, blah, 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 blah. Now, I want that spot. Don't get me wrong. I want that freaking flat spot. I love a flat, nice spot. But there's etiquette. When I'm with a dog, I get that spot. Now, that dog can come in the tent with me if he wants to. That dog sleeps outside, not tied up if he wants to, which he most likely does. It's Wolfie. He's a husky. Leave me alone type thing. He's very aloof. But there's times when there's hail and there's raining and lightning and stuff. He wants to come in with me, and I love that. I love that. The best time for me with the dog is like, I have visions of it. I'm canoeing, and the dog's just running along the shore. I'm in a river, and the dog's just running along the shore, keeping up with me. He hops out because there's a rapid that I want to paddle through, and then as soon as the rapid's done, I just pull over and he's waiting for me on a little peninsula and he hops in. You know what I mean? Or like, or there's frogs jumping around and he's just all super interested, jumping in the long grass like a fox. I just get so much enjoyment out of it. I really do. Dogs don't complain. They don't say, no, I want to go for longer. They don't say, I want to stop earlier. They don't, you know what I mean? It's just, it's a good companion. And I feel it's a friend. It's a good friend. It's a good friend. I had a very good friend in Scout. Scout was my best friend, bar none. I say that without any kind of, I'm not joking. I really do mean it. We had a good bond, and I've always looked for that since him. And Wolfie is, I catch myself calling him Scout every now and then. And he's not the same, you know what I mean? But he's very, very, very similar, and I have that same kind of feeling towards him. It's a dog belongs in the outdoors. If I'm gonna be going solo a lot, which I normally do, I like to have the companion of a dog.
Yeah, our previous pupper hated camping with us. Yeah. Like he was just bored out of his skull. He'd just lay in the middle of the dirt if we're front country, just looking at us.
Oh, you'd want to sit in the car. Or, yeah, if you're front country.
I'm in the car. I'm a
little
bit of a princess. So.
Although we did take him on a backcountry trip when he was on his last legs. And I kind of regretted that we hadn't taken him on more backcountry stuff.
What kind of dog was that?
He was a cockapoo.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Just a little guy, didn't paddle, so it's kind of like, yeah, you're not carrying your weight.
And he couldn't understand why he couldn't just drink while we're paddling. It's like, why can't I just stick my head over the side? There's water right there.
That's a tip.
I remember one of the first canoe trips. So I was not really able to take Scout on very many canoe trips at all. He liked to chase the lure like Tripper did, and he didn't really sit well in the boat and stuff. So my wife Will and I took him on a couple trips in 2008 or so when we lived up in the Sioux, up in Lake Superior Park in this Lake Michigamunxing. Highly recommend it if you guys are in the area or whatever driving by. It's right off the road. It's awesome. But anybody, But we went in there and we were camping, and I remember it was morning. We were paddling, and the lake was glass. You know how in the morning sometimes it's just. And Scout thought that it was like he could step on it. It was so glass. I remember he did it, almost tipped us, and then the whole 9 yards. It was quite amusing. We still talk about it, me and Will.
Yeah, that's. It's hard enough to keep people from tipping you.
Don't
grab dog that doesn't get it.
Don't grab the gunnels.
Exactly.
All right, that's it for us for today. Thank you so much to our special guest, Joe Robinet. Please check him out on YouTube and on Instagram. And the links will be in the show notes, so please click through and check us out while you're there. And we would love to hear from you if you want to reach out to us. We are at hi@supergoodcamping.com. That's hi@supergoodcamping.com. And we'll talk to you again soon. Bye.
Bye.